today who has experienced unusual phenomena surrounding his conversion from Judaism. Please welcome Donald Golden. Hello, Donald. And
hi, nice meeting you.
we're glad to have you to share your wonderful experience. I know you're a new convert to Catholicism.
Yes, I am.
1 year?
I was confirmed on March 25th, Annunciation of Mary,
Yes.
and it was 1996. Very recent, yes.
Very recent,
Yes.
yeah. Well, tell me, you came all the way from Springfield to
Right.
be here
Yes.
and to share this story. Tell me, when did it begin? Was there a moment, or was there a lot of years leading up to this conversion? What happened?
It happened, I believe it started February of 95. And someone, a friend of my girlfriend's invited me to go to this place in Enfield.
Where's Enfield?
Enfield, Connecticut.
What was happening there?
Well, I didn't know too much about it, but I was open to something different, and I always am open to things. And I just, went there with my girlfriend. And in fact, this woman who was a friend of my girlfriend, like I said, showed me a picture of the Blessed Mother from Medjugorje. So it was supposedly taken in Medjugorje. I wasn't too sure if that was the Blessed Mother. And being Jewish, I didn't really think too much about the picture. I thought it looked really nice, but again, I didn't think too much about it. But anyways, I ended up going to the house in Enfield, Connecticut with my girlfriend, and it was supposed to be like a prayer group. That's all I know about it. I said, okay, I'll go. My girlfriend is Catholic, and I think it was to do with a lot of people who go there, I guess, were Catholic, but I wasn't too sure exactly what was going on there. So I did go there, and I was there a little late. We were standing around the house, and what happened was this is the middle of February now, so it's cold outside. The first thing that my girlfriend and I noticed was the scent of roses. And I didn't understand too much about that. We thought maybe they were just maybe spraying roses around. Actually, my girlfriend thought that. She thought maybe they were just just had the scent of roses around somehow. But it was the middle of February, and it didn't. And it just, I know, in my heart, I felt maybe it was more than just someone was spraying roses. I felt maybe this meant something. I wasn't too sure what it meant, but I thought it was very special. In my heart, it was very special what I smelled.
Well, now, it's interesting. Now, you would go all the way from Springfield
Right.
to Enfield, Connecticut,
Right.
for just a prayer group. Your girlfriend was interested in this prayer group? I mean, that's a long way to go for your girlfriend to want to pray.
Again, I wasn't sure why I was going, but I felt maybe I was reaching out for something, but I wasn't sure what it was, spiritually maybe, because my life was not too spiritual at that point. So
You were seeking something in your heart, seeking something more.
Well, I wasn't sure again. It just sounded like a special place in my heart. I don't know why Enfield, but I decided to give it a shot, just go there and sit. And again, it might have been just searching for something, but again, I
So
didn't.
now you went away and you thought, oh, no, this is strange.
Yeah.
So what happened?
You mean?
After the scent of roses, I mean.
Well, then I was interested in going back again to see because I felt comfortable there for some reason. Even though I didn't know too much about this house, I felt comfortable there. So I ended up going back there. It's every Tuesday night they have it, and so I went the next Tuesday. And an interesting thing, my girlfriend stopped going. Not that she doesn't go to church or whatever, but she just didn't need to go there anymore for some reason or another. But I did. So to me, I feel that there was a reason for her maybe somehow being the messenger to get me there, and somehow by God, I don't know. But again, I didn't know. This is at my beginning stages of my conversion, so I don't know exactly what was going on. But I went back. I think it might have been the second time or the third time, and this is when I went upstairs, and I was invited upstairs to a special room, and this is when I feel very special things started to happen, and did happen in that room. It changed my whole life around.
Now, was there someone there who was very spiritual, who spoke with you? what happened?
At the house in Enfield there?
Yes.
Do you want me to mention the names or just leave it?
Yeah, generally, what was your experience?
Well, again, I went up into the room. Somebody said, "Why don't you please come up here?" And the man who his name was Neil, and Neil told me to come upstairs and just put Neil in front of the Blessed Mother. And again, I felt a little strange doing that because I'm being Jewish. Very strange, actually. But again, I felt peacefulness in that room. I can't explain it, but I did. And so I knelt down there in front of the statue. I think it was a Rosa Mystica. And as I was there, I noticed it appeared that the statue had tears in its eyes. And I asked Neil, who happened to be there, and he's the son of the parents who own that home there. And I didn't know too much about Neil that much, but Neil said, yeah, she is crying. And at that point, I was kneeling down, and I don't know what happened to me, but I started crying myself. And it goes back a long way. This is a lot to this, but I don't know if you want to talk more about why I started crying or what.
What emotions were you feeling? Were you feeling like she was touching your heart, or?
Well, again, I didn't know too much about the statue. Again, when I saw the tears, somehow spontaneously I started crying, which I don't know why, but I did. And then I thought of my mother. So my mother. There's a connection here. My mother died in a car accident when I was 17, and this is very hard to talk about, but she died, and I guess I had a hard time all my life. I'm 47 now, but I had a hard time coming to grips with this death, especially the way she died in a car accident, and also, she was also hit by a drunk driver going down a one-way street the wrong way, and he was a doctor besides, which I don't want to get into all that, but so I didn't know what was going on in my heart. So anyways.
So this Madonna,
yeah.
this Rosa Mystica statue, which was weeping.
Right.
And you have pictures of this Madonna weeping. Photographs that were taken.
I do have them with me, but I want to get back. Can I get back to the?
Yeah. So you started
my mother.
Of your own mother.
Yes. Well, my mother actually popped in the picture first. When I started crying, the words that came out of my mouth were, "I forgive you, Mom, for dying. You didn't mean to die. I forgive you. I'm sorry this happened. I'm sorry the weight was on." Whatever. I'm not sure the words that came out, but it was mainly forgiveness for all these years. I held it back. I never maybe even mourned for my mother. I don't know what exactly happened, but that moment I mourned. As also at the same time I felt the Blessed Mother come into the picture. I felt there's a presence there. I felt Mary in my heart, and I felt that I was focusing on her. Besides, I felt my mother in the room there. I also felt Mary too.
It sounds like that you were carrying all these years an awful lot of anger and
yes.
resentment. Resentment toward your mother for leaving you.
Yes.
You were close.
Yes.
And also toward probably God.
I think probably
Anger.
God too, because I did walk away from. I was religious for a while when I was younger, and when my mother was alive, I was kind of religious, and then I tried different things. But yes, I kind of got away from God, and maybe because I was angry. Yes.
Your family, were they practicing Jews?
My mother was a very strict Jew. She was an Orthodox Jew. And when she was alive, we kept a kosher home. We would go to synagogue on Saturdays. On Fridays, we would light the Sabbath candles. It was very special. My grandparents used to go over there, and we used to have a Passover Seder during Passover. So we kept a traditional Jewish home, I feel, and she was a focal part of the whole family, my mother. So losing her was a tough one.
You made your bar mitzvah.
Yeah, when I was 13. Yes.
Yeah. Well, now you felt this mother's touch, this peace from the statue of the Rosa Mystica, which you felt was the spirit of Mary coming to you.
Well, again, I didn't know I was really a little confused that night, but I just felt all I can say was Mary. I could think of Mary in the picture, and I love you, Mary. Or I don't know what I said, because I don't know exactly what I said.
You felt you gave up your resentment.
My resentment, and I gained. I feel someone said, like in the room there, you gained two mothers. You gained two Jewish mothers. If found out later Mary was Jewish, so I feel that that did happen. And but then something interesting also happened is when I was crying, there happened to be a priest in the room, which I didn't know, that he was sitting in a chair. I think his name was Father Di Lorenzo, and he happened to be there. And as I was crying, I lost it a little bit. I went back because I needed someone to comfort me. The first person to comfort me was the priest, and he did comfort me, and he also put his hands on me, and he healed me. And he I think he might have asked me, "Will you accept Jesus?" I wasn't too sure what to say at that point. I was a little confused. I'm not sure if I said no. I'm not sure, but then as time went on, I feel I did say. Someone in the room told me later that I did say, "I do accept you, Jesus." And then I don't know too much more about that. Should talk any more about this, or you want?
Now you left this place after this emotional experience.
I started hugging everybody too, by the way.
You
At
started
the end,
feeling love.
everybody in each room, I started hugging everybody.
You started feeling love.
Yeah,
You
very much
let
love.
go of a lot of hate.
Confusion a little bit because again, but I did feel love.
Now, what happened after that? What did you go home and think about this and say, "I've got to get some more information about the Catholic Church," or what? Did you get onto a pursuit right away?
Well, again, I was confused, and
you can't even speak.
No.
It's too overwhelming.
Well,
huh?
what I want to make clear, this is what I'm trying to tell the people in the audience here, to the television audience, that the main thing is this: I didn't know when I went there. I didn't know why I was going there, and something special happened to me, which I didn't expect. I didn't, being Jewish again, I didn't have any association with Mary. I didn't know too much about the Catholic Church. My girlfriend is Catholic, yes, but I didn't know what was going to happen. So I felt I was steered there by God to finally forgive my mother for dying, finally get back to God, where I should be, and to come back to the Roman Catholic Church, which I didn't expect was going to happen. That's what happened. So I just want to kind of tell the audience there that that's what I feel happened. So it was special for me, and I want to share this with everybody else. That hopefully someone else can be touched by God. And God is there waiting, and so is Mary.
And you have had other experiences, signs, let's say,
Yes, I
given
have.
to you,
Yes, I have.
and you feel very much that these were given to you by Our Lady, that she was closely connected with this. Like, you showed me some pictures before the show, pictures that you'd taken of the sun, that you felt was very, very close to the descriptions you heard about the sun at Fatima.
Yeah, something did happen to me very special after, I'm not sure exactly when, I think it was October actually, very close to the anniversary of the apparition, of the miracle of the sun in Fatima, which I think was October 13th, but mine happened October 18th. Like I wrote it down, and something did happen that day. I was going to the prayer group, which is called a cenacle in Enfield, and I was walking towards the house, and I noticed the sun seemed to be spinning, and I kind of didn't know what that meant. Someone mentioned to me a couple of times that they had seen the sun spinning, which I didn't put much faith into. It's hard to understand the sun spinning. So, but to me, it seemed like the sun was spinning. So I had my camera with me. I had a camera with me. I had one picture left, but I didn't take a picture of the spinning sun. But I thought maybe I was seeing things at first. It didn't make any sense, anyways. But so anyways, as I'm looking at the sun, all of a sudden something special happened, which I'll never forget. The day I die, the sun. I'm looking at the sun, and all of a sudden the sun, which was on the right side of the horizon, took off to the left side, like a meteorite, just in the flash of a tenth of a second, went to the left. Okay, real fast. Like I can hardly see it. It was so fast. But then as it went to the left, it came down towards me. The sun kept coming down me, and I was getting a little scared, very scared actually. And I thought maybe, I thought this was the end of the world or something. I wasn't too sure what was going on, because it's very scary to have the sun do something like this.
It's amazing that the way you describe it is the way the people did describe it at Fatima, that it zigzagged.
That's what I've heard.
Some people say danced, but zigzagged and then came toward them.
Yes.
And actually, they felt the heat.
I did.
Did you?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Because
The sun
they
was
were in
coming
a
down,
pool
yeah.
of water, and that
Yeah.
dried,
Yeah.
and their clothes dried. That's
Yeah,
how strongly
yeah.
heat
I was on my knees. I was on my knees because I was scared. And actually, I was running around because I took a snapshot of this. I'm not too sure if it came out clear or not, but I do have a picture here.
We're going to show that,
Okay.
right.
But I ran into the house, and I told people, I think, I don't know what's going on out there, but I think maybe the world's coming to an end or something. I didn't know what was going on because the sun had come down so close to me. I felt the heat. And then...
Oftentimes, too, people associate heat with healing.
Right.
Did you feel anything other than fear at the time?
I felt fear until I talked to somebody else in the house who happened to have the same experience that I had.
At the same moment?
No, at a different time in his life. He was driving his car with his son, and he saw also the miracle of the sun. So he told me all about it, and it's interesting how he happened to have the same experience that I had, and he's the one that consoled me.
Were you baptized at the time when you saw the solar phenomenon?
I tried, when I was baptized in a different church. I was experimenting with different churches.
Different Christian churches?
Different Christian churches. I tried the Pentecostal Assembly of God, and I was baptized there about 12 years ago. And so I was baptized.
And then, when you became a Catholic, did
Right.
you have to be baptized again?
No, when I was confirmed on March 25th, I had confession, Holy Communion, and then I received Holy Communion, confession, and
Confirmation?
confirmation. Yes, I'm sorry.
Was your girlfriend present at that ceremony? Because I know you showed us a wonderful
Yes,
picture of you,
yes, yes,
and you said she's Catholic.
yes. And she was my witness there.
Uh-huh. So that's what date? You said March 25th?
March 25th.
That's when you had
Annunciation of Mary, and that's the date that the
Annunciation.
priest had picked that day. It just happened to come out that date.
a very, very important feast for Fatima, It's because that is the feast that our Holy Father chose to consecrate Russia and the world to Our Lady's Immaculate Heart, which was requested by Our Lady in 1925. Sister Lucy, one of the seers, was in a convent. She was asked the Holy Father to consecrate the world, Russia. And for what reason? For conversion. For conversion. As you know, the Soviet Union was, and a lot of it still is, atheistic. But we have great hopes for the conversion of many of the people there, and it's growing.
Yes.
Every day that people are getting in there and opening up churches and giving the word of how loving and forgiving our Lord is, and what a gentle mother Mary is.
Yes.
And many of them know the story of Fatima, believe it or not.
Yes.
But Fatima isn't your, you have so many Madonnas in your life.
Yes.
I can't believe it. I mean, you had Rosa Mystica when you first had that experience of forgiveness.
Right.
Then you have Fatima with the solar phenomenon. And then you told me, but your real sweetheart is Our Lady
of Guadalupe.
Guadalupe.
Yes.
Now, when did you encounter that? I noticed you have a little feet on your...
yeah, this is the pro-life.
The pro-life feet?
Yes, I wear that, and that's all to do with Our Lady of Guadalupe. And it started with her. Again, I don't know how these things happen. It's just God seems to be just steering me this direction. And but Our Lady of Guadalupe, I'm not sure where it started, to be honest. It actually, some things have happened though that I've seen in the sky again that helped me, that may be associated with Our Lady of Guadalupe.
And what are those things? Solar?
Well, I've seen phenomena in the sky, mainly the rainbow around the sun, which I guess occurred. Actually, I remember that when Juan Diego actually had the occurrence of who was the one, of course, back in 1500 or so. He's the one that saw the Blessed Lady. I was told that a rainbow appeared when he saw the Blessed Lady, and so it also occurred back then. And something also happened recently, I think in 1991. I think it was in Mexico City, I think, and there was also a rainbow seen around the sun, and it was then put into a newspaper, New York Times or something like that. So this rainbow seems to be connected with Our Lady, and I've also seen a rainbow myself.
Yeah, I know you've taken a picture, and we're sharing that with our audience.
And again,
too.
these are just little things.
Right.
These are things that keep my faith,
Yeah.
and that's all. But it was for my conversion, and there's a lot of work to do after conversion. So this is just conversion at the beginning, but then you have to do a lot.
Right. And of course the scent of roses is associated with Guadalupe.
Yes,
because
yes.
Juan Diego gathered up the Castilian roses.
Right.
And then of course when he brought them to the bishop, Our Lady's image was on his tilma as the roses spilled out. Also, Our Lady of Guadalupe is credited with the conversion of all of those Aztec Indians who were doing sacrifices of babies, innocent babies. And when they saw how her power with the sun, her image blocking the sun, they were converted. And that was a great nation of Aztecs converted. So, and she's associated your life, you as an individual, with conversion. Tell me.
And the unborn.
And the unborn, right.
To save the unborn who have no protection. I agree with you, yes.
Right. Now, I know you're in social work as a job up there in Springfield.
Yes.
And so you're kind of a guy who's a feeling person who wants to help others, who really has, I'm sure, a lot of love in your heart. So when we talk about conversion, oftentimes we talk about conversion of heart. So what was the work you had to do after conversion?
Oh, to keep it...
Yeah. I mean, what did you have to work at in your personal life?
Well, the graces, again, kept me... All the graces I received, just helped me to come to God. And then, again, you can't keep getting graces forever. And you have to keep growing. It's a growing process. So right now, I go to Mass every day. I just try to keep up what I should do when I go to Mass. And I also do the Rosary 3 times a day. And I'm not saying everybody should do what I do, but I feel so, what has happened to me, I just want to, I owe it to God, and I owe it to, and I owe it to Mary, who was sent by God. And so I do. So I also serve in the church near me. I've been serving too, so I'm really close to the Mass, through the Mass. And people have even asked me about, do you want to be a priest someday? But I don't know if that's going to work. But
your girlfriend's going to say, I've developed a problem here.
She wouldn't appreciate that. She wouldn't appreciate that. But again, she knows that. In fact, when she first met me, she said this to me, Donna. This is before even my conversion. She thought that maybe I should be a missionary.
Really?
That's what she said to me, but I don't know if that's right.
Now, is she in social work?
She she works in a health club. And she's very active, and she does a lot of dancing and things like that. So she does that.
But she's also religious because she brought you to this prayer group.
She's religious, and only that I'm the only person that goes to the group to the Seneca Link. But that doesn't mean anything.
Now, I know you have the Bible here. Is there a reason for that?
Well, I just want to mention one thing in the Bible which comes to my heart that I think I could tell the audience.
All right. Please do.
Okay.
I see all your little markers. Old Testament and New Testament there, hey? I'm glad to see that. You're a fine example for our audience out there who may be taking their faith for granted.
Well, I hope this will bring people, maybe some Catholics or whatever, who need to come back to the church, and also my Jewish people too, which I really hope will understand that the Messiah is here. He's come to me through his mother, and again, this is hard to understand because it's hard to explain it, but I know it happened. So I hope this will help people out there. Okay, I just want to read this. I think this pertains to me and maybe to many other people out there who feel that they're alone and maybe God doesn't care about them. This is from St. Luke, chapter 15. One man of you that hath 100 sheep, and if he shall lose one of them, doth he not leave the 99 in the desert, and go after that which was lost until he finds it? And when he hath found it, lay it upon his shoulders, rejoicing.
And we rejoice that you're now in the fold also. You were wonderful to share that. I know it was difficult for you. I could see a lot of emotion in your heart.
I kind of sometimes wanted to cry a little bit, but I didn't want to, because I've done a lot of crying over the years, but I feel so happy now that I'm in the Roman Catholic Church right now.
And people don't need to have all these signs and wonders to turn to the Lord.
No.
And you were special. You were touched in such a special way. I mean, it was quite a gift. But sometimes we just have to ask. If we feel we're in a crisis of faith and we're not really reaching God, maybe we're not maybe we're not inviting him in. Maybe we really don't want that change of heart. Maybe we like that lifestyle too much and are waiting until maybe we feel close to that door and, where we enter into eternity. And we don't feel the joy of being a child of God.
Yes.
And I see that joy in you, Don.
Thank you.
And we're going to continue our discussion.
Okay.
I know that you have some other people you'd like to contribute to the story. And
Yes.
so I ask our audience to watch us again on Fatima Today, and we will continue the miraculous conversion of Donald Golden. Join us next week.